The name of our group is Animal Rights Dude, and the theme that brings our group together is our love for animals, but more specifically, the rehoming and rehabilitation of animals that have been abandoned, surrendered, or abused. These creatures need our help to find their forever homes and also require love and care throughout their journey in and out of the shelter. All of our members worked with Gulf Coast Humane Society. The community-based issue I addressed was the need for animal rescue and helping shelter animals be happy and well taken care of. My project relates to the Sustainable Development Goals 1, 15, and 16. Goal 1 is no poverty. Although I'm sure that this is pertaining to humans, my project strives for no animal poverty. Goal 15 is life on land, which relates 100% to my project. Not only would I like to help every living thing on land, but especially the less fortunate animals who end up in shelters and are seeking forever homes. Goal 16 represents peace, justice, and strong institutions, which goes perfectly with my project because I want justice and peace for these animals. Because of COVID, I was not able to be as involved as I originally planned. The volunteer program had no new openings because of the virus, so I was forced to be a little creative. I decided to raise some funds between my family and friends, and I was able to donate a few bags of dry cat food. This was something the shelter told me that they were in desperate need of. I was also able to go back a different day and play with the cats and dogs for a while. They need all the love and attention they can get to stay happy while waiting for their new homes. I originally set out to volunteer at the Humane Society and help inform the public that came into the shelter on things such as adoption processes and getting their animals fixed and helping them understand the animal cruelty and what some of these animals have been through. I wanted to help increase the shelter's adoption levels for 2020 and help make the animals happier in the process. I obviously faced a huge roadblock that is the coronavirus, but I still tried my best to contribute and make the animals happy and comfortable. One of my goals was to make the adoption levels go up. Sadly, I couldn't do much with that because I was not allowed to physically be a part of their volunteer program. I was able to spread as much awareness as possible, but not as much as I would have liked. I was able to spread love to the animals while they waited to be adopted. What I love about Gulf Coast Humane Society is that it's a no-kill shelter. I tried to be an active citizen with this project, but like I said, it was very hard, especially since I was trying to limit the amount of time I was in public. Serving and giving are the foundational elements of engagement that guided my work. I was able to give my time and cat food, and I was able to serve by spending time with the animals. I also had to use a lot of critical thinking and problem solving to make anything happen because of COVID. I definitely learned how to problem solve with this project and still be able to make a difference. The project impacted me in a great way. I felt like I was able to make a small difference even with everything negative going on. I also learned how happy animals get to see you even when they are stuck in a cage. Also, there are way too many animals left behind, and that needs to be fixed. People should know that I did my best on this project, and the coronavirus affected a lot of my abilities, but I was happy to do what I could. Thank you. This project was completed by Megan Shorley.
The community partner I decided to work with for this project is the Gulf Coast Humane Society. There are 70 million stray animals in the U.S. Out of those 70 million, only about 6.5 million animals enter one of the 3,500 shelters. And from those entered in the shelters, about 3.2 are adopted. My original plan for this project was to physically volunteer at the Humane Society. Unfortunately, due to COVID and their restrictions, I was unable to do so. I had to use my problem-solving skills to come up with another plan to still be successful at this project. My next idea was to get involved with my community and inform and educate them on the Gulf Coast Humane Society and what they were all about. By educating them, people felt comfortable donating money and food for me to donate to the shelter. By donating to the shelter, I was serving my community. The most important thing I realized throughout this project was every little thing helps. The society are very grateful people and they're thankful for whatever they get. You could take a little time out of your day to donate just a little something and it can make a big difference in another animal's lives, and I think that's worth it.
For my project, I decided to partner with the Gulf Coast Humane Society in Estero. Due to COVID, my original plans had been changed for my project. The Gulf Coast Humane Society, on average, takes in about 2,000 animals per year. That's something that was very alarming to me when I first learned about that because that's only one humane society in one town in Southwest Florida. And that just put like a realization in my mind that there are a lot of animals across the country that are being abused, neglected, and mistreated, and luckily we have a lot of humane societies across the country that are constantly taking in these animals and providing the care and the rehabilitation that they need in order to find a forever home. And that is something that I was really interested in learning more about throughout this project. However, I did run into a lot of technical difficulties and other difficulties planning my project because of the current status of our world with Corona and everything going on. I found it difficult to become a volunteer at the Humane Society because they have a process that you must go through, and unfortunately there were no available spots that would fit the time frame for this project. However, I was able to go to the Humane Society and donate some dog toys, but unfortunately I had some technical difficulties with my phone, and I lost all of the footage and the photos that I had from my trip to the Humane Society. So I decided that I would make this video and explain it through words instead. I went to the Humane Society, and it was really eye-opening because even with Corona and everything going on in the world, there were still so many volunteers that were showing up and doing their part and helping these animals, and that's something that really stuck out to me. Like I said before, this Humane Society is just one, and there are so many across the nation that are bringing in animals and helping them. And in regards to civic engagement, that reminded me of the associating part of civic engagement, because I took this experience as me associating myself with the Humane Society and providing any help that I could give them to support them in the functioning of their facility and their organization. And in the future, I do plan on becoming a volunteer and attending one of the orientations, so I will be able to complete the orientation in the future and then provide volunteer services to them in the future. So I am looking forward to that. But this project has really been eye-opening to me, and I have been able to share a lot of what I've learned to a lot of my friends and my family, and I hope that in the future circumstances change with animal abuse and mistreatment, but I'm glad that we have a lot of good facilities like the Gulf Coast Humane Society that are helping these animals be treated and rehabilitated and brought back to full care so they can find their forever home. And I hope that I'm able to associate myself more with this organization in the future.